Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Cam, man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. So Underdog is running it back with their playoff basketball promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. So start round 3 by using your game 1 boost and continue boosting each following game to unlock the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. I already used my 40% extender boost for game 1 of the Knicks Pacers series, as you guys can see on the screen. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killa, what's good, man?
Murder, what up, man? How you?
Chilling, man. You went to the freestyle without me, huh?
Yeah, I went over there, dropped a couple bars real quick. I'm on my Michael Irvin shit. I figure if Michael Irvin can film from an airport bathroom, I can shoot from the car.
Yo, Killa.
This is my first time. Hold on. Michael Irvin in the airport bathroom. And then you, when you got fresh off the stage from Australia, this is my first. This is my first, like, in the car.
Yeah.
Joint right here, man.
Yeah.
But we gonna make it happen, man. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, speaking of playing in people's faces, Stat is playing in people's faces.
He didn't even say playing in people's faces, first of all. He can't even say that.
Stat, what does it mean to play in people's faces?
I feel like playing in somebody's face is having an intention for one thing and then doing the complete opposite. So how am I playing in somebody's face?
No, I just heard the term. I wanted to see how it works.
But you heard it and you used it in a sentence with me.
What happened? I'm late.
Yeah,
I would love to know too, Cam.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say it on the show, Killa, you know?
Damn, it's like that.
Yeah, man. People hitting me up, man, asking me about Stat. I don't know.
Who's people?
They don't want me to put their name out there, you know?
I don't know. I'd love to know. We're here. This feels like that conversation when he was in the kitchen with his wife. Whatever the topic was, and you were like, I'll answer off the air. This is what this feels like. But, you know, whatever.
I answer it off the air. Kim, have you heard the same?
I just heard Stats having a good time as a 23-year-old out there in the world.
Yeah, you know. Congrats, you know. Congrats. Yeah.
I'm late. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, man. Good. Start the show.
Now start the show.
Listen, Murder, maybe she living the life that you was living at 23.
Maybe.
I don't got nothing to do with this. I don't know.
Oh, man. Is this called gaslighting?
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
I know one thing, man. Y'all two are the edit masters. I don't want nothing to get edited, man. I'm late to the party. If Mase, you want to fill me in on or off the air,
Cool. I don't know what's going on. Who was playing in your face, Stat? Or who face you want to play in? I'm
just as confused. I wish I was up to speed with you too. I don't know. He said he's talking to people. I said, what people you talking to? Now we don't know. So I guess I don't know either.
I'm gonna tell you, this is what I can't tell you, Stat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Mase talking about, but I know the nigga 30 plus years. That laugh mean he knows something. That ain't the regular. You know, Mase will give you with the. This is a real laugh, like he knows. I don't know what he knows, but
we'll talk.
He's trying to go to commercial break early.
Talk, Cam,
but it's like,
yeah.
I don't have my ear on the ground, but you know,
it's just about sports and personal dating life for like that. Because I heard you say before the show we had some guests on. They were pretty funny. I heard them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You said status settling down. That's so. What did you? That's when I heard. Y'all didn't know I was on the air, but I heard y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Status not. She's not settling down. It was a joke by me saying it.
This is why I'm confused. This is literally why I'm confused. Because last time you said, I don't know what people do in their personal time. And now it's like, oh, she's ready to settle down. So I don't know. I would love to know.
Hey, I'll say this. And we're probably going to have to edit this out, but I will say this. When you told him to say something, he said something, and you edited it out.
What part?
No many buttons.
What part? I don't know.
Let's go ahead with this show so we don't have to edit all that fun out.
It's going to stay.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. But let's start. Kim's face. Never mind. Kim's face said it all because Kim knows a lot more. So I don't know.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the hell, but I know Mase laugh, and I know when he knows something. This happened already on this show, this same scenario, and he said some names, and, you know, the edit, because I didn't know to be honest with you, I didn't even know the names he said, because I'm not up to date with all these people that's out there. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck be going on, man. But I know one thing. This is what I will say. For Mase not to follow nobody on the gram, he knows everything. I don't know what That nigga follows nobody, knows more than everybody I know. This nigga call me with information all the time. Not about you, but I'm just saying in general. I'm like, you gotta have two fake pages.
Probably.
You know, a lot of information, man.
Guess we'll never know. So we're going to start with this MVP conversation because there's a lot of back and forth. So as we know, it still hasn't been announced yet. And usually by now we do know who it is. So many players in the league have given their 2 cents regarding the decision that has not yet been released. Isaiah Thomas said, I liked when they would announce MVP during the first round. What's the holdup now? Ja Morant responded to a tweet from Bones Highland that asked, why haven't they announced MVP yet? And Ja responded, they got to see who won the series first. So Mase, what do you think of all this? Do you think it's weird they haven't said anything? And then who would be your final answer?
I really don't think you have to wait to figure out who the MVP is because the season is already played. All of the stats are in, the points are in, the rebounds are in. You've seen how they play against different opponents and things like that. So you really don't have to judge it based on the playoffs. I think when they do it in postseason, it kind of takes away from the regular season. I think the MVP is mainly based upon the regular season. So right at the end of the season, they should be ready to give that trophy out. And if they give this trophy out at the end of the season, it will be less complicated because sometimes people get to see folks play the first round, do damage, pause, or not show up in the first round or second round. And then it starts troubling people's mind of who was really the MVP. I think all this year we thought the same 2 people were the MVP. It was SGA and then it was Joker. But Joker has been the reigning MVP and all of the votes for the longest, pause, and even SGA for the last 2 years. But now it seemed like after you see the playoffs and then Joker, let's say Joker get 45, 19, and 15. Now you start thinking, well, maybe it's Joker. But at the end of that year, it should have definitely been SGA.
Yeah, listen, supposedly the way this shit worked is that all the votes are in at the regular season. So the MVP for the regular season was voted for before the playoffs started. What happens is this, excuse me, every year the NBA pushes back who gets MVP. So now you have the speculation from Isaiah Thomas. You got the comments from Ja Morant. And I'm not even knocking them niggas because the longer you prolong it, the more it seems like you trying to do some fuckery. I remember a year Dirk Nowitzki won MVP and he got bumped in the first round. So he was they announced it actually the day he got bumped, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly. The night, so basically, let's say they lost a series 4-2. The night that they got sent home, he was announced he was the MVP. So now it took away from him winning the MVP because it's like, this thing ain't even get past the first round. How the fuck he get MVP? They need to announce it as soon as the season's over. Even more so, the reason they need to announce it when the season's over is because now it's playoff MVPs, right? So now whoever wins this Indiana, New York Knicks Eastern Conference Championship is going to be an MVP for that. Whoever wins the Western Conference Championship, Minnesota and OKC, it's going to be an MVP for that. And you're making it too close to the other MVP. So I get it that they didn't want to put it out because it usually used to be one MVP, but for the last 2 seasons, it's been a playoff MVP. If I'm not mistaken, the Larry Bird MVP on the East, the Magic Johnson MVP on the West for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So now you have speculation to where Isaiah's like, we'll say too long. Ja Morant, that's and I'm not even mad at Ja Morant, but that's what street niggas is going to say. And I'm not saying Ja Morant's a street nigga, but niggas in the street going to say, yeah, whoever won this series is going to get the MVP. When the vote should have been in. Why prolong this when you're about to announce 2 more MVPs? You're about to announce the Eastern Conference MVP, the Western Conference MVP, and then the MVP of the finals. Why the fuck push the regular season MVP back when it was already should have been voted for? You hear people like Michael Wilborn or Stephen A. Smith saying, I voted for so-and-so to win MVP, or I voted for so-and-so, Draymond Green, to win Defensive Player of the Year. Because it's 100 people, I believe, or 99 people, something like that, who have votes. And you're pushing it back. I get why everybody's up in hysteria mad, because I feel the same way. I'm not as angry as the players, but what I'm saying is that, fuck is this popping up on my screen? Sorry, y'all. I apologize. Some shit popped up on my screen talking about my hand gestures. This phones be doing too much. Nigga said, watch my hand gestures.
Because it makes reactions.
Damn, I swear to God, she just said, watch my hand gestures on the phone. I can't do all that. What the fuck is they talking about? Anyway, the moral of the story is I concur with Isaiah Thomas, and I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy theory on who wins the series, but you give people that room for speculation. I think it's absurd because let's just say, for instance, right, these series go 4-0, which I don't believe either series will. You announce the MVP this week, then you got another MVP next week. But say it at the end of the season, so therefore it's not blurred lines. Because listen, let's just say MVP, let's just say for the sake of argument, which I believe SGA is going to get MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he got bumped in the first round and then he wins MVP? It takes away from his MVP because people are not caught up in the regular season right now. They're caught up in the playoffs. We just talked about how the Knicks could not beat Boston, Cleveland, or OKC through the regular season. Cleveland and Boston is home. So at the end of the day, the regular season is the regular season. Give the awards out for the regular season. They drag it out. 1 week, coach of the year. 2 weeks later, defensive player of the year. Week 3 after that, 3 weeks after that, clutch player of the year. Yo, give the awards out that week when the regular season's over, so it won't be any blurred lines. Because if you don't produce in the playoffs and you had a tremendous regular season and earn MVP, but you don't get what you're supposed to do in the playoffs, or do what you think what people think you should do in the playoffs, it takes away from it. Like I said, if SGA got bumped in the first round, niggas be like, how the fuck he get MVP? And it's the first round because it's a regular season award. Now you're waiting for the Western Conference Finals to give out a regular season award. And people can't read through the blurred lines. So I don't blame the John Morant or Isaiah Thomas for feeling the way they feel, because I totally agree as far as prolonging who's getting the MVP.
Yeah, they should give it right before they start the play-in games. So that way, while they're doing all the consolation games, all of the awards go out. Because I think even, like you said, the lines get blurred because once you get this, let's say if you win MVP and then he get bumped by Ant-Man, then it looks like, well, you're not really the MVP because the MVP of the Western Conference is such and such. And now it puts dirt and darkness on the light that should have been there for the guy who won MVP for the regular season.
We'll see what happens because they're definitely dragging it right now.
Yeah.
So it's time. Okay, so
the whole point is it's like, and sorry to cut you off, but and this is a rhetorical question. Why? Adam Silver, sometimes I'll be thinking like he's a great commissioner, and sometimes I'll be like, what the fuck's he talking about? It's about to be a 4-point line. What the fuck you mean it's a 4-point line? Oh, all of a sudden it's international play. Like, bro, sometimes you do great things like get Donald Sterling out of here, and then other times you let niggas play at your name. And it just seems like, bro.
If he started the 4-point line, it's gonna be ridiculous. You know, Stephen Curry might be he might catch Michael Jordan. You know, niggas start getting 4 points. Niggas start having 40 points every game, averaging 40 points, because him and a few players can hit shots from that far. So that would be crazy.
What I really believe, Murder, is this. And let me know what you think about this and this is a suggestion that I had, just off the top of my head, because we're seeing the amount of threes that's being taken. And at first, a year or two ago, I wasn't against it. But this season, it's just become overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm totally against it. What do you think about this, right, Mase? What if a team gets, let's say, 25 three-pointers per game, and if you shoot more than 25 threes, even if you shoot behind the line, it's worth 2. And then in the last 2 minutes of each half, you can shoot as many threes as you want. But the first what is that? 22 minutes of a half, you get 25 threes. 25 for the whole game. Because you can't keep watching this type of basketball and enjoy it. It was cool a couple years ago. We see Steph Curry change the game. But it's sort of like what Chris Rock made a joke one time, and he said, yo, it ain't guns that kill people, it's the bullets. Imagine one bullet, right? And this may not be the best comparison, but one bullet costs $5,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody dies, you know they meant for a nigga to die. Because you ain't just gonna put, nigga gonna be like, yo, nigga put $40,000 worth of bullets in the nigga. This is what I'm saying. And like I said, this might not be the best comparison, but it needs to be a cap on shit. I don't care. Yeah. Well, listen, I think, to be honest with you, I think that's great what Chris Rock said. If you think about it, if you see a nigga filled with 6 bullets and bullets is 5,000 a pop, you be like, nah, niggas put 30,000 in a nigga, pause.
Yeah.
That means he needed to die. It ain't just random niggas dying.
It would be like each bullet. It would be like each bullet is worth 10 years. So, you know, if you shoot 5 times, you're going to do 50 years in jail.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I agree with that as well. I just was saying to Chris Rock, I thought that was genius because it wouldn't be random niggas getting killed for no reason. Sorry if that's not the right comparison. It just came to mind.
It's okay. It helps us kind of follow where you guys are going at with certain things. I want to go back to Adam Silver real quick before we go to the next question. So, Cam, to your point, you were saying, he's making a lot of changes, especially with like not announcing MVP when we're usually expecting it. And then we've talked about obviously the 4-point line. We've talked about the changes to in-season tournament. Even now we've seen, which is what you guys suggested, the international versus players who are from the States. Do you guys feel like Adam Silver is too innovative, or do you like the direction that he's been taking things?
I think I appreciate any leader that's innovative, but I think he's fishing a little bit. I don't think these ideas are thought through. You know how people I call it Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be a good idea, but you gotta think about it some more.
You gotta see, yeah.
Yeah, I see where you was going, but that's not it.
Yeah. So he just slightly misses the mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Cam?
he means well.
Okay. Cam?
I think the ratings is going down and he panicking. That's what's going on. The ratings is going down. Niggas is panicking. They like, oh, what can we do to get the ratings back up? Look, this is the cost of doing business with a lot of people when you spread yourself thin. Pause. You sit there and then you can watch NBA on Amazon. You can watch it on YouTube TV. You can watch it on TNT. You can watch it on ESPN. You can watch it on NBA TV. It's leaving TNT, going back to NBC. You're doing business with everybody, and sometimes people are like, I'm not watching that. You do business with Peacock. You got to realize, as much as we make... For real.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. As much as we make fun of Sin City up here for definitely not being technology savvy, mad that there's no payphones no more in New York City, it's a bunch of people like him still in the world. It's a bunch of people that's Sin City won't watch. He loves The Sopranos and The Wire, but he won't download HBO Max because he don't know how to do it. And he don't feel he need to get a subscription. He's a person to where you be like, yo, get Apple Music, get Tidal, get, whatever Spotify, whatever streaming services is for music. He won't get it because he'll say, I can just go to YouTube and hear the same thing. Why would I pay $8 a month when I can just wait for the commercial to be over on YouTube and hear the whole thing? So at the end of the day, it's not just him. It's millions of people like him.
Yeah.
So where they be like, yo, man, what you mean the game don't come on fuck is Peacock? No, pause. I know fucking a Peacock. I hear Peacock. That's some new shit. Nah, I ain't paying. Come on now. And you're going to lose older viewers to certain games because they don't want to adapt to the times. And eventually they will because it'll get weeded out. But in the meantime, you're going to go through some turbulence if you Adam Silver. I just named you off the top of my head 5 different ways you can watch NBA games. And some of them are on streaming networks where people are all streaming. It's still people out there. Don't get me wrong, the stats of the world and I'm not talking about stats, the people our age. Some people come in your crib and be like, damn, Killa, you still got cable? Because they got all the apps on their television. They got the ESPN app, they got the TNT app, they got the HBO app. They have all these apps to where they feel that cable is obsolete. I actually see something on CNBC where the CEO of ESPN was talking about how he watched day by day his cable subscribers drop like flies. Day by day, they're losing cable subscribers, talking about ESPN, but they're finding ways to make up for it as far as streaming is concerned, apps are concerned, etc. But it's going to be some turbulent times in between that process.
Yeah, I think he's making a mistake that most CEOs that fail make. And that's going after new clients to such a degree that you lose all your old clients. You got to have a way to keep the old and still build with the new. And it takes like really gifted people to do that.
Right. And then on top of that, the NBA, people don't like the product as much. I mean, it's not like us. I'm not going to stop watching the NBA. But I'm just giving you examples of, my people I fuck with. I remember Duke the God went on a 2-year strike. 2-year strike. because the NBA put Black Lives Matter on the floor. And he's black. But
Yeah.
he felt that they shouldn't be. This is, and I'm not disagreeing, agreeing. This is just a perspective of a friend of mine that I'm telling you. He felt that the politics should not involve sports. And even though we've seen people like LeBron and other athletes saying, when Trayvon died, or when they said we have to do something because the black killings was getting too much out of hand. So, and you know, the NBA is predominantly black. So you have to make a move at some point, but then you have other people who's upset with it. The nigga just started watching the basketball again this season since the pandemic. This is his first season back in 3 years. Literally, you know, and Mase knows who I'm talking about. This nigga's an extremist, my man Duke. So he takes it to that level to where he feels if he doesn't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. But this is part of the things that's going on where everybody, and like I said, I have no opinion either way, where certain people may not like certain things that's going on because they just want to watch sports, or they don't want to download an app, or they don't want to see you shoot 300 3-pointers per game. It's going to be turbulent times until you figure it out. And I think that Adam Silver is trying to figure it out. And with him trying to figure it out, he looks crazy at times when he's trying to figure it out. But it's somebody trying to save what they're in charge of.
Yeah, well, he definitely better figure it out, because you would hate to be the first commissioner that failed in the NBA.
He's something. Okay.
It's a great sport.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we're going to pivot to the Pacers. So Haliburton is flying out a Pacers fan who got attacked by Knicks fans. So they were basically hitting him with garbage bags. So Haliburton in return invited him to Game 4 in Indiana. He said everyone in the organization wants to make sure he's taken care of. So Mase, what do you think of the behavior from Knicks fans? And how do you feel about Haliburton's decision to fly out that fan?
When I think of the New York Knicks fans, this is exactly what you expect from New York. And I remember me and Cam was having a rap beef, and the kids said, "Yo, thanks for the promo to Cam." Cam said, "Yeah, more promo coming, nigga." So the same way with this situation, if they think that's something, more is coming, you know? There's going to be more bags thrown. This is New York. This is not the place for you to come with thin skin. Pause. They say if you could make it here, you could make it anywhere. You see, I still got my New York on. Camden, you know, he done went back to Ohio. Put the camera on Cam. He back in Ohio. See, I knew he wasn't a real New Yorker. And more is coming. Pause. You know, more bags is coming to the gentleman. So I hope Haliburton don't just fly him out. Get him security, because he gonna need security. Now that they know that bother him, that's one thing about New York people. Once they know something bother you, they gonna triple down on it. Pause. That was crazy.
Yeah, well, Mase, hold on a second, Mase. Hold on, because I keep my shit on the road. I'm on the road with it. What you talking about, man?
Yeah, us having the Knicks battle is crazy right now. You see what I'm saying?
This makes no sense.
I'm on the road. So Mase can try and pump fake all he wants and throw me under, but mine is on the road. Keep it in the car. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that.
Yeah,
Keep it in the car with me,
Cam,
man.
I'm wearing the hat, but I know they gonna let us down. I know it. I know niggas gonna let us down.
You know what's crazy? We talked about it yesterday. About we brought up some names on the Knicks that from when we was children watching the Knicks, and shout out to Bub who runs the Is What It Is page. He posted the clip, and in the comments, it was so many people bringing up mad names that we didn't bring up. Nigga said,
Kenny
Murder.
Walker.
Yeah, Murder. The nigga said, don't forget we had the wrong Wilkins, Gerald Wilkins.
Yeah, he said the wrong Wilkins. Yo,
nigga in the comments said, we had the wrong Wilkins, Gerald Wilkins, man.
Yeah, the wrong 21, yo. That's
yeah,
crazy.
man. Shout out to John. But yeah, listen. We actually showed the clip of the guy yesterday on yesterday's show. If you didn't see yesterday's show, of the guy getting hit with the garbage bags and everything else. But I thought it was a great gesture. He had on a Haliburton jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's put this into perspective, right? Think about the promo Haliburton going to get for $1,500.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. It's $1,500 worth of promo, maybe 12. He ain't gonna fly in private. See, you give him a round trip ticket. He not sitting on the bench. Now he can go to the locker room, get his pictures, this, that, third. Haliburton putting that nigga back on a round trip ticket. So whatever. So I think this is genius on Haliburton's part. I'm not saying that he wasn't genuinely felt bad for homeboy or felt like, yo, that's some bullshit. But you get great promo. And this a little bit before your time too, Stat. But listen, there's a rapper named Eazy-E. Eazy-E made a donation to the White House, to go to the White House as NWA. The name of that group for those who's young enough don't know, NWA stands for Niggas with Attitudes. These niggas songs consist of, it's the world's biggest dick, pause, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, fuck your mother. It's one of the most
after police.
Disrespectful, fuck the police, disrespectful albums of all time. He made a donation to the White House, got invited to the White House, put his name, Eric White. Eazy-E showed up to the White House, Jerry curls, glasses, Raiders fitted, all black on, walking through with the Republicans. And the niggas is like, who is this? Nigga said, here go my laminate. I paid. They like, who are we inviting? We don't even know who the fuck we inviting to it. But sometimes that $10,000 promo for Eazy-E to pay, it translated into probably way more record sales or way more acknowledgement than they wrote. I remember the same group, NWA, a pastor was so upset with them, actually a pastor from Harlem, and they bought all the cassette tapes out of the record store, whether it's Tower Records or Time HMV, I don't remember, and ran them over with one of them street crushers where they clean the streets, wherever it was, they ran them over. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. They bought the records. Who give a fuck? It's money in our pocket. This is great advertisement for Haliburton. It's very smart. You can't beat this advertisement he's going to get, but I thought it's a great gesture. Back to New York fans. Go to my page. I warned y'all, this is not the season to come supporting your team if you're not from New York. Do not come around talking about what you think you could do, what you could do next week. Look, niggas is on my top because I was trolling wearing a Boston jersey. When I get back, I'm going to grab a couple niggas with me, make sure niggas are on the right temperature, because that's how mad niggas is. That, they fucking with me because it's me. But I'm just saying, the average person, do not come through with no Celtics shit. Do not come through with no Pacers shit. Do not come through with, especially the Pacers now.
Yeah.
Celtics they finished. Don't come through with anybody that could pose a threat to this championship that New York is about to try and get. It is not safe. If you look when that person got hit with the garbage and all that, the police are there. The police are right there. They're not going to do anything. It sounds funny when I'm delivering the message. This is a fact. Do not go there randomly thinking you could promote your team and you tough. This is the first time I've seen in a very, very long time 5 boroughs united.
Yeah, for real. This is not the time to show up with the jersey on because it match your hat. It'd be a bad idea.
But I'm also hoping now people don't purposely try to do it thinking like, oh, like Haliburton's giving him a ticket. Let me go do this and that. Like, kind of like we were saying in episodes before, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So don't think just because he walked around like that, you going to get a ticket too. Because I promise you, it ain't finna work like that. So I would just say that.
So let me tell you something. I thought about that too, Stat, because now all it takes is a nigga, let's say for instance, let's just say, let's use the Western Conference for example. Let's say it's a nigga walking around in Minnesota with an OKC jersey on, a jacket or whatever, and the nigga hit him in the head with a garbage can. Now they gonna start tagging Anthony Edwards. You ain't do a Haliburton. This could be, you gotta be careful with this. Niggas can start setting this up. You know what I'm saying?
They get free tickets,
Right.
yeah. Yo, you got a ticket?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna buy a jersey. Hit me with a garbage can.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, so Wednesday is game 1, Knicks versus Pacers. Underdog has Haliburton at 4.5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Lower. They definitely gonna hit the boards. They definitely not letting them get more than 4.
Okay, Cam.
I agree with Mase lower.
Okay, Pascal Siakam is at 10.5 rebounds and assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Higher.
Yeah, definitely higher. He come from a championship pedigree. He's out there to prove that he's trying to get a second ring.
Okay, and Josh Hart is at 2.5 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
I'm gonna go higher. Underdog always does this. Cam, you're gonna have to put the call out on this one because this 2 points, nigga gotta get more than. He might not.
See, the thing about it, Murder, why Underdog is so good at this,
I'm going low.
and you have to pay attention. No, the reason I ain't gonna go lower, but I'm just saying, for instance, right? Let's say, for instance, right? Let's use, and I know we talk about Josh Hart. I'm gonna give you my pick in a minute. Let's just say you'll use Mikal Bridges at 2.5 points, first quarter points. He don't have nothing one game until the fourth quarter when he exploded for 14 points. So you sit there and you got to listen to exactly what Underdog's doing. That's why they Underdog ain't good. Because they'll say, we didn't say 2 points the whole game. We ain't say 2 points the first half. We said the first quarter. Now, what if what if Cat gets hot? What if Mikal Bridges get hot? What if he just play in this position and he don't get no points? Because we know that Josh Hart is really the dog of this team. He's the one that's going to do the dirty work, and if his points come, they come when they come, pause. But I'm going to go higher than 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going lower, pause.
Okay. Make sure you guys download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. So why do players keep getting in trouble with women? AJ Brown has an answer. We will discuss after the break.
On Underdog, you can play your way to bigger boosts each round of the playoffs with the Extender. Start a series by using your Game 1 boost and continue boosting each subsequent game. The longer the series, the bigger the boosts. Underdog, the best place to pick playoff basketball.
Welcome back. So Eagles wide receiver AJ Brown says his teammates struggle with porn and objectifying women because of their wealth and power. He was speaking to youth, and it's a pretty long conversation, but I'm going to read 2 of the main quotes from what he said. He said, these guys that are in the league are getting in trouble with women. They got a fetish with women. You can get any woman you want. You can pick and choose real-time porn, right? And it's going to a whole other level because what porn does to your brain, it desensitizes your brain. You may think like, oh man, she looks good or whatever. No, you're looking at it as an object, not as a human being. Mase, what do you think about this take from AJ Brown? And do you think men are becoming more desensitized as they get more money?
I want to hear what Cam got to say about this first. He should be hilarious on this.
Yeah, I'm not a comedian, man. You know what's crazy? I was with Kevin Hart. Shout out to Kevin Hart. I was with Kevin Hart yesterday. He said, yo, you're trying to take my job, man. Cut all the funny shit out. I said, yo, I'm not trying to be funny. He told me to tell you what's up, Mace. He love what we doing too, man. Definitely shout out to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin Hart.
I don't be trying to be funny when I'm saying what I'm saying. So just so I'm clear, he's saying not real porn. He's saying that guys are looking at female as porn objects and can really do with some porn shit because they have money. Is that, if I'm correct?
Basically, yeah, real-time porn, they can do whatever they want because of the access and money that they have.
And so you're asking if people are becoming desensitized.
Yeah, specifically athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man. It go like this, bro. Niggas walking past all type of shit. Yeah, I know the car hot, man. Keep it moving. Nigga, listen, it go like this. And you gotta think of younger people, especially younger. When you work hard, and I can't say younger, it's just certain people. When you work hard, you have to. It's different eras. So you get to the older era, and you say, "Yo, man, listen, I worked hard to live the life that I want to live. I don't want to have drama. I don't want to have a headache. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that." It's never been where people, you sit there and say porn. I'm sorry if I'm being long-winded because I'm thinking it out while I'm talking to you because it's different age groups. You got to think about it. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have, no, we had the Jet Beauty of the Week, the joint where you go to this magazine, it was all black magazine, and you look for the girl in the bikini, and you be like, damn, if I get her one day, bro, it's gonna be crazy. I want her. When you're 11, 12, all you got is the Jet Beauty of the Week. So now it isn't like you could say desensitized because of the technology. And I'll shoot this question to murder. And I'm not talking about Mason Method today. I'm talking about as a teenager, not even a celebrity yet. Or maybe as a celebrity, or just a cool ass nigga who was before a celebrity. If you had Instagram,
Yeah.
and you had access to all these people, are you gonna be like, yo, shorty from Utah, trying to feel me, and shorty from Wisconsin is feeling me? I could see me and Murder in school right now talking about, nah, look at this though. Look at this. She on me, nigga. Fuck out of here. You ain't never getting that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And then you become the celebrity that you want to be. And then you could get the girl that you was on Instagram looking at since you was 12, 13 years old. We think about Jalen from Houston, and we talk about Drea and his relationship. And, some people like to poke fun of it or whatever the case may be. She been popping since he was 11.
Yeah.
This is somebody, he might be like, yo, nigga, watch when I get up, I'm going to get her. Not knowing he going to have a baby and everything else and they'll be together. But these are people you want to see. And I can't speak for Mase, but I almost can speak for Mase. And I ain't going to go to... Mase ain't just become no superstar and then by chance bump into other superstars, females. It wasn't by accident that I'm not going to go into details or so, but it's not by accident that Mase comes from the gutter, becomes an A-list celebrity, and now he's next to the A-plus celebrities. It's not an accident. Because Mase could have been like, yeah, whatever. So I remember, like I said, I ain't going to get into detail. Mase threw me on the phone before I had my deal with people that was 7, 8 times non-platinum. Females were like, yo, Cam, Mase was actually playing basketball. I was playing basketball. We was in my park on 139th Street. He's on the phone. And Mase said, I'm going to shoot some shots. Tell the girl, talk to the girl for a minute. I'm talking to the girl the whole time. I don't know until he give me the phone, come back, get the phone. Bleep these names out too when we say it. There's one of them. I said, I've been talking the whole time. Nah. They said, calm down. Here we go with the cool shit again. Yo, relax. All right. Just he got tired of talking to her, went to shoot some boots, came back 5 minutes later. I don't know I'm talking to I'm amazed. So back to the original question, it's gonna be like that, especially when you have access. Instagram DM it is like having somebody's phone number. It is an actual feature in Instagram. When you go to requests, and I don't know if you guys use it or see whatever, but when you have a lot of followers and you go to your requests, it's a button you can push to filter, and it says, go to the request by followers. So that means all the top requests, the people with 9 million followers, you see them requesting 8 million followers, 7 million followers, 2 million followers, 100,000 followers. So you don't have to go to your last request. They built in a feature on Instagram where you could be like, top requests. And then you sit there and be like, oh shit, I ain't know shorties was following me. They've been trying to talk to me this whole time. Oh, I ain't even realized. It is actually a feature on there on your request that you could do this. So it's gonna be like that when you have access to who you've been liking this whole time. And then you got to think about it when these athletes get older. Some of the females that they like they might be washed. They might be on their last leg and be like, yo. Nah, that nigga like you, he hit you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, come on, man. This is what I'm saying. So look, I'm gonna show you. I don't even know if you can see it.
Yeah, the filter.
But it tells you, it shows you where you could be like top requests. So if you hit that button, it goes to the people with the most followers who trying to get in contact with you. Imagine you an athlete, right? And you're a regular athlete. You got 300,000 followers, 100,000 followers. But a girl with 20 million followers, yo, Chloe in my DMs, Tim in my DMs. Now you got somebody that you've been growing up looking at in your DMs that you have access to. I know I've been long-winded on this topic and it's Mace's turn to talk, but I was just trying to figure out the different levels. But to answer your question, if he wants to use digital porn for his analogy, I'm not mad at that, but I don't think it's that. I think it's that niggas got access to who you want. Secondly, you got to realize what this girl won't do, another girl will. You know, I know a girl that I know, and I ain't going to say the celebrity name. She showed me his DM, and he told her, yo, I want to fly you in just to nibble on you. And she was like, what kind of creep is you? And he wrote back, damn, nigga can't get a little nibble, fuck you. I'll go on to the next one. This is the shit going on, man. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So yes, these younger athletes are gonna become more like not really looking for somebody, because what one female won't do, it is 200 other females that can't wait to do it. It's a clip going around viral right now, and maybe I'll have Nick edit it into the show, where Jay-Z's walking, and a girl is on the side. He just looks at her. I think he's gonna get in trouble for this. I don't hope Hov don't get in trouble. I'm just saying, he looked at her up and down. The girl like, oh shit, Jay-Z looked at me. She going crazy because he looked at her. This is what I'm saying. The females are just as guilty as whatever niggas you trying to blame.
Yeah.
Athletes, right?
I agree with Cam. I think even everything is shared. I even think like the internet has made it easier for you to date biracially too. No pun intended, just saying.
I'm just gonna add, I think to Cam's point, the access is to a different extent now, because even just with the recent relations or whatever you want to call it that have kind of like popped out, we've seen like Sauce Gardner, Ice Spice, Stephon Diggs, Cardi B, like Instagram. Yeah. A lot of people, and even if it's not, like I'm sure it's
Central C and Ice Spice.
Nah, she was Sauce.
Oh,
but at the time, yeah. So I'm like, it's just you slide in the DMs. And especially now with the verification process, how kind of anybody can kind of get it. The number of followers things probably helps filter out who is actually an artist versus who's not.
Listen,
so.
And people are paying for the blue check. So once they're verified, they feel like this person must be somebody. But go ahead, Killa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Murder. I'm just saying, but that comes, blue check with 800 followers, man, get out of here. But what I was going to say is that my little cousins and them, and this was like probably 6 years ago, you know, they little fly homegirls or whatever, and I was sitting around them, they like, we only fucking with niggas with blue checks. They ain't got no blue check, we ain't fucking with niggas. Fuck, it's a status thing. So now they felt that they was in a thing where if you ain't have a blue check, that you wasn't nobody. It's niggas like you said, Stat and Murder, that's paying to just have a blue check, but it ain't even equaling out if you got 600 followers. So what's the blue check for? Some people would rather have no check and 200,000 followers. I don't know. It's a mess out there, internet wise. But the answer, Mase, you said it. You broke down everything I said way easier. Both of you guys. It's easy access, and you can get to who you want to get to quicker.
Yeah, they think that blue check is everything, Killa. Everybody under 24, they would do anything for that blue check. That blue check is like a rollie right now.
It's not even anybody under 24. It's people who are 30, in their 40s, in their 50s, who think a blue check is everything because it makes people feel
verified.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Last thing, I'm agree with Stan.
You're right, Stan. I just come across the ones that are 24 and under that's, man, you'll buy me a blue check? Like, buy them a blue check. They want it bad.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Let me give you guys a quick story. Last thing on this for me, not for y'all. I'm just saying y'all can continue. To Stat's point, it's not just an age thing. I remember Sin wanted a blue check. He like, yo, hit your man up for a blue check. One of my niggas, I won't say his name. And homeboy couldn't get in the blue check. So Sin wanted to do something to the nigga. And I'm like, Sin, I won't speak to you. Dead ass.
What?
Dead ass. I promise you. Next time we get Sin on the show, we'll be talking about, I said, Sin, you cannot do business with him. He said, nah, but this is Sin main thing too. He couldn't stand on the corner when that's when he scored. I said, this ain't about the corner. You want a blue check. He said he can't do it like you used to. He said, yeah, he playing with me. If I do something, you're going to be mad. I said, if you do something to him, I'm not speaking to you. I do business with him. He said, all right. So Sin eventually got a blue check on his own, and he was so proud. He said, yeah, got mine out the mud, off the muscle. I ain't need no favors, nigga. I'm like, yo, what he talking about? He said, yeah, I earned my shit. I said, yo. So to Stat's point, yes, it doesn't matter the age, man. Niggas be bugging.
Facts. And then last thing I'll add, as far as the desensitization part, I just think we obviously know social media gives us access to everything and everybody, but it's like you can literally hit up anybody across the world, and there's always going to be somebody who looks better, who makes more money, who is taller, who does this and that. And I think people keep searching for that next better thing and just neglecting what was before. And it's like you're just going to keep searching for that next best thing, because then you get the best thing, then you're satisfied, and you got to keep finding ways to go above the thing that you had before. So I think that's the desensitization, because it's like, dang, I got all this money. I could get any chick that I want. I can go anywhere that I want. I can do what I want. And y'all finna watch me on the TV. It's like, it's a mentality thing. And I don't think it's going to revert anytime soon.
Yeah, you really got to tell yourself that the internet is a lie, actually, because if not, you're not going to be able to make good decisions. It's hard. I could only imagine if I grew up with the internet. Like if I would have grew up in the internet, I'll probably be a total different person.
Are you happy you didn't?
Actually, I am, because I think the internet, like it kind of, because it's so fake. It's like people live their life that way, and then they end up wondering, you're never going to be satisfied, because like you said, it's always going to be something better until you recognize all that was a lie. I don't even know how to really explain it, but
I think you're explaining it very well. Go ahead, Cam.
No, listen, Murder, to chime in on what Murder said, I am totally happy I didn't grow up with that shit. I am excited seriously, because we're at an age to where we got to grow up as adults with the internet, and we still could be cool, and we still could be fly niggas and so on and so forth. But the amount of panic I see young people with the internet, the amount of panic is ridiculous. The amount of, oh my God, my phone's about to die. Oh my God, I'm under 50%. Oh my God, they're not liking my picture. Let me take this down. Oh my God, no, take the picture over. The angle isn't right. Let me filter this. Let me filter that.
Yeah.
It is so dope that I didn't, because I'm not going to lose my mind if the internet goes down. Instagram, you ever see Instagram go down a couple times? Niggas start calling each other, yo, what's going on? Instagram ain't up. What are we gonna do? Yo, niggas, I watch young people lose their mind. I watch people, you know, and I'm not making fun of this because I know it's a real thing. Get bullied, and like I said, I'm not making fun, but I'm just saying in general, this is to the point we gotta be at to where you're in a scenario of people online making you feel a way to where I'm old enough to be like, give a fuck what a nigga in their basement in Brazil is saying about me. Nigga, you live in your mother's basement in Nebraska. Give a fuck about you, nigga. You can never make me mad. When I go back and forth, people on the internet, it's for my entertainment. It's not because you can really get me mad, especially somebody I don't know. Now, if it's somebody I know, I'm going back and forth. Cool, I understand it. But it's so dope that I don't have to panic. I don't have to fucking sit there and be like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. Yo, why you liked her picture? Why you liked his picture? Just that third. Yo, my nigga, that shit is annoying. You know, the picture's there. I like the picture because I like the picture. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I agree with Mase. Mase was short with it, but my nigga, we don't have to panic. Young niggas panic. Think about this right now. And this is a far reach. And you know, it probably won't happen. God forbid it won't happen. If the electricity go 3-4 days, nigga don't even know how to tell time. A nigga don't know how to do a math equation. A nigga don't know how to write down 172 times 53 and then the line and do the math equation. Because they don't know. They grew up with a calculator. You wasn't allowed to use a calculator in school when I was coming up in school. You sit there and put a division. Nigga probably don't know how to draw the division shit. If you sit here and have to do 17 divided by 356, a nigga don't know how to actually write that down and do the actual math on a piece of paper to get the answer. You don't know how to do that? Not true, I'm just saying in general, nigga. Imagine giving a 9-year-old today a math equation that says 197 times 53 and tell them to figure it out. I don't know if they can do it. I'm not saying they can, but it seems like curriculum is all going through technology. So if you don't know how to do that, and then you don't got to, you know, like I said, it's a stretch, not saying you have a calculator or phone or electricity go out, but they don't know how to do that. And I just privileged enough to know how to do both. They took script out of school. Niggas don't know how to write script. Niggas don't know how to write cursive, bro. They don't know how to do it. Did you learn? I'm not saying I don't know. I'm just asking. Did you learn cursive?
Yeah.
All your friends can write in cursive?
No. It wasn't a requirement. It was a requirement for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's my point. It's not even a requirement.
Right.
Nigga don't even know how to write a little script, fancy little letter and script. I could do that. I could do that, and I could do the technology. So I'm happy where I'm at with it. But like Stat said, you know, Stat's about to be 23, 24, and it wasn't a requirement when she was coming up.
Right.
Shit used to be a requirement.
That's crazy, Stat.
Yeah. That, writing checks, like there's a lot of things that was like, we didn't have to do that.
You didn't have to write a check? Oh my goodness.
I didn't have a checkbook. My mom was like, you need to order one. I was like, why? Who am I writing a check to? Like, I didn't have to do that. So it's things that I learned.
Because some, see, this is the arguments I was saying. Some of this shit, it goes like this, right? And I'm glad that, and that's the reason I'm saying this. It's a seesaw pause. You have to have the balance on, because you can sit there, right, and sit there and say, damn, you don't know how to write script. You don't know how to do a math equation. Okay, City, you don't know how to download an app on your TV. Who's stupid? And I'm not saying even party is stupid.
Yeah.
But the way you gonna look at, the way Sinner look at you for not knowing how to write script is the same way they'll look at him for not knowing how to download an app.
Last thing I'll add, because you guys both made really good points, and it's like, honestly, like you guys talked about not growing up in the internet era. I am growing up and did grow up in the internet era, and it's kind of weird because it's like, I feel like people forget they're quite literally watching me grow up on this platform. Like, it's like, people are like, how do you not know this? And I know I couldn't do better about knowing certain things, but it's like, I went to school in Miami. I went to a private school in Miami, predominantly white, right? Graduated straight out of college doing this job. And then you guys are seeing my growth and development. And people think like, oh, you're acting different. It's like, no, I'm literally growing up. Y'all see me here 5 times a week. I'm learning things day by day, things that I didn't know before. You're seeing the change. So going from only interacting, with the people in my town, the small city that I grew up with, to then making comments and posting things and the whole world having an opinion on that, like, that's a different type of growth that like not everybody's experiencing. Sometimes people can just roll through it and not have to worry about the reactions and the responses. I'm in a different place. I have to worry about the reactions and the responses, because the same way the internet can build you up and make you become something, it can break you down the same type of way. So those are the things to be mindful about, whether you're in the entertainment industry or you're playing sports and stuff like that. You just have to be mindful, but it's a lot. And it's like, you don't necessarily sign up for it. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, Stat. Have you ever had finger waves?
No.
You know what finger waves
are?
Yeah,
I do.
Oh.
My grandma had finger waves. Go ahead, Cam.
Sorry, Murder. Stat, last thing I want to say about this is this. And Stat, a lot of times at least me, I just be fucking with you if you ain't see this or see that, because it's shit that we grew up watching. Right. But it's the same thing. So if somebody like my uncle said to me, how you ain't watched the whole Roots? I don't want to watch Roots. Why you ain't? Oh, you don't like Leave It to Beaver? It was 20 years before I was born. No, I don't want to watch that. So sometimes I give you a hard time just fucking with you, but I understand completely, and that's what you got to realize. Because we grew up watching something, that is not the era she grew up in. And same thing with me. Somebody will sit there and say, oh, you don't know this, or you didn't watch that. And I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to watch black and white TV. I'm not interested in it. That's what y'all had to watch. I get it. But at the end of the day, it shows that I don't want to watch. And sometimes I go back and watch certain shit. Like it shows that before I was born, The Godfather, shit like that I watched. But I'm not going to sit there and watch a plethora of shit from 1959.
Said I'm not doing it. And I hear you, because I'm good off that too. But great conversation, y'all. If you guys are watching, make sure you are subscribed. Just click the button right down below. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs. Like when they doing them 2 for $5.